Hello and welcome to Sport on 7 from the Dubai International Cricket Stadium, which along with Abu Dhabi and Sharjah played host to Pakistan's home series here in the UAE. First up, let's have a look at what's in store on the show. On this month's show, we'll bring you all the action hosted in the UAE during the month of October. We'll take you to the cricket grounds across the UAE for Pakistan's home series against the West Indies. We also meet the WWE star Mark Henry before heading over to the Yas Marina circuit for the all-new Formula 4. So let's start the show with the cricket action hosted here in the UAE, which also included Asia's first ever day-night test match held here at the Dubai turf. The UAE has been home for the men in green since 2009, and despite not having played a test match at home in their own country, Pakistan has risen to the #1 test rank over the summer. I caught up with the skipper and their coach Mickey Arthur to discuss their recent success. After a successful summer in England, Pakistan cricket team arrived in the UAE to take on the Caribbean side for a 2-match T20 and 3-match ODI and Test series. Despite carrying a poor form in the limited overs format, the side cruised to a flawless win in both the T20 and ODI series. The Test series kicked off with the day-night test and with the all-new pink ball, which was also Pakistan's 400th test. After a complete domination in the first test, the horrors of their batting collapse continued and almost cost them the game. According to the skipper Misbah, it is an area that needs to improve.
That was really tough for us. We played really careless cricket in that session, and sometimes it can happen when you are having so many youngsters in the team. So we need to really learn about these things, especially in Test cricket. Every time you have to be there mentally and physically present, otherwise game can slip out of your hands, and that's a good experience for the team. So I think in future everybody will be careful.
After taking over the side in 2010, affected by spot-fixing scandals and unable to play at home following unfortunate events in 2009, Misbah's leadership has been viewed as a major factor for the revival of the side. Despite being a recipient of much criticism for his defensive approach, the Pakistan skipper earned the status as Pakistan's most successful Test captain, with over 23 wins as the leader in just under 50 games. After earning the Test mace as #1 team, Misbah hopes that cricket will soon make its way back to the stadiums of Pakistan.
Take it over the side from after coming from spot fixing scandals, lots of scandals, almost exiled from home. So in terms of your legacy, how do you look back and taking Pakistan's side to the #1 status? What would you remember from your time? And obviously this is your last home series almost.
It was tough in 2010 because we were just facing a lot of problems, but the team was determined. I was determined at that time. So if we can work hard, we can just make a mark. So that was the start of the team, and then everybody responded really well. Some of the youngsters became the stars. Azhar Ali, Asad Shafiq, Sarfraz, Yunus Khan performed really well. Yasir Shah just came in at the international scenes and just took 100 wickets in 17 games. So these are some players who just developed into good Test players. So, and the team became #1. It's a big achievement for me as a captain and for the Pakistan cricket and for the team. So if you're determined, if you work hard, anything is possible. So that's what you need to think all the time. Be positive and do your hard work, be disciplined, and I think you can achieve anything.
Much of the side's flair and renewed energy has been credited to the new head coach Mickey Arthur. Former coach of South Africa and then Australia, Mickey has now helped 3 sides reach the #1 Test status. Renowned for the homework game scandal with the side down under, Mickey took over one of the most challenging roles of international cricket in May 2016. After a successful first home series here in the UAE, the coach has been strict on discipline and says to be a #1 side, fitness is non-negotiable.
Now we've got the new head coach of the Pakistan side, Mickey Arthur. So now talking to us about Pakistan cricket and yourself, not many coaches have had the feat of taking sides to #1 ranking. So a pleasant surprise during the England tour.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, just after the England tour, when we could get ourselves to #1, I mean that was fantastic. But I can't take too much credit for that. I'd just come in. My first series was against England, and I thought we played fantastic cricket in that series. There's not many teams that go to England and win 2 Test matches, so I was really happy with how we went about it and the results we ultimately got. But to getting to #1 is a culmination of a lot of hard work, and a lot of hard work by everybody. From Misbah to the players to the whole structure, you know, everybody's played a role, and that's the good thing about it.
For sure. Now, most of the press as well, they credit much of the Pakistan's flair to yourself, and you've been very strict in fitness, and you do like a hands-on approach. If you're unfit, you're out of the team.
Yeah, well, there's certain rules, you know, and we like to operate unconditionally in an environment of excellence, and I think that's what the top sport teams around the world do. So I've come in and given it a lot of structure and given it a lot of discipline, and also, you know, particularly around fielding and around fitness, because they're measurable. Batting and bowling is a skill, and we've got loads of that. But fielding is measurable, and fitness is measurable, and that's where we've lagged behind, and that's cost us. So those are non-negotiables in terms of how we go about our cricket and how we go about creating that environment of excellence, and the players know that, and we challenge them and push them hard in that regard.
Commenting on non-negotiable, we heard that you said the Pakistan team, after the performance in England, a bit outdated in the limited over side. Bit of a change that was witnessed in the ODI game against West Indies, but is it changing? Are we going to see Pakistan a bit more aggressive, let's say, as per se, in the power play overs as well?
We have to be. We've got no choice. If we want to keep up with the way the rest of the world's going, we have to play that way. We've got to train our players to do that. We've also got to give them the freedom to go and play. They've got to go and back their ability. You know, I always say to the players, we'll give you the roots to grow and the wings to fly. And the roots to grow is their technique, you know, because their technique is non-negotiable. You've got to have a defence, you've got to have an attack. Whereas the wings to fly, we want them to play with flair. We want them to play with freedom, because that then brings the best out of you. So that's what we're encouraging in our dressing room at the moment. And the guys responded well in the series.
For sure. Now, commenting on your role with Pakistan side as well, because the culture is different in terms of having more foreign coaches. Now, how have you adopted to the side, and in terms of what would your role be in terms of bringing international cricket back to Pakistan? We've seen Dab Watmore convince the Zimbabweans to come over. Now, with your South African and Australian heritage, where can we see more foreign sides coming in?
Oh, look, you know, that's at a different level to where I operate, I'm afraid. You know, I'd love to see cricket back in Pakistan. I mean, it's such a passionate community, it's such a passionate population. They've got so much pride in their national cricket team. For them not to be able to witness their national team playing day in and day out in home series in their own country is really sad, because, you know, young players need heroes. And heroes are only created by young boys watching them play, and they don't get to see them other than on TV. So that's really sad from that perspective.
And lastly, where do you see the Pakistan team going with a couple of more years of Mickey Arthur reign?
Well, hopefully a couple more years. Yeah, hopefully we just go from strength to strength. You know, the rankings are great because they tell you how you're tracking and how you're progressing as a team. But myself as a coach, I far prefer seeing young players get better and better. You know, to watch Babar Azam score 300s in a row, that gives me satisfaction. To see Mohammad Amir run out and swing the new ball, that gives me satisfaction. To see the young guys start developing and start believing in their talents, and us creating a culture where everybody fits in, everybody knows their roles and operates unconditionally in an environment of excellence, that for me is my KPIs. That's what I love seeing. And if we do all that right, well, then the rankings take care of themselves.
Sure, we've got a very tough few series coming forward, Australia and as well in West Indies. So good luck with that, Mickey. It's a pleasure to have you over here, and great to have you in Dubai.
Thank you for having me. It's a great city.
We will now be taking a short break, but when we come back, we will continue with cricket and speak to the UAE side about their game against the World T20 champions before meeting Mark Henry.